guys, it's Adrian. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm here to bring you the Guilty Reader tag. I was tagged to do this by both Julie from Pages and Pens and Michelle from Book Odyssey, and I will leave a link to both of their channels down in the description box below. You should go check them out because they are fantastic people. Before I get started, I am behind on my tag videos. If you have tagged me in a video and I have not yet done it, it could be because I've just completely missed it because I was on vacation. I'm trying to catch up. That being said, you will be seeing more tag videos from me than usual lately because I've got about 4 that I need to do in the next couple weeks, and I try to only do them once a month. But if I keep to my once a month tag video rule, I'm never going to be able to catch up. But all that to say, you'll be seeing more tag videos from me than you usually do, and if you have tagged me in a video, leave it in the comments below or to me on Twitter so that I can go check it out because I'd love to do it. I'm just behind. Question number 1, have you ever regifted a book that you've been given? No, I've never been given a book like as a birthday present that I then didn't really want to read or couldn't really appreciate, so gave it to somebody else. I at least gave the book a try or kept it on my shelf for a while and then gave it to Goodwill. But I have given a book that I really loved a couple of times to people that I thought might appreciate them, but they weren't like wrapped up and given as gifts. The one that comes to mind was my favorite book of all time, The Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkinson. I gave to my brother because I thought that he could get something out of it. I'm sure he hasn't read that book yet, but Paulie, if you're watching this video, go read The Dream Giver. Number 2, have I ever said I read a book that I haven't? Welcome to high school life. When I was in high school, we had to read a lot of classics that I just didn't enjoy. I couldn't appreciate classics as much as a teenager, and while I do appreciate them, I can't read classic after classic after classic after classic. It just gets tiring, and that's what we did in high school. So there were plenty of times that I said I read the book when I actually didn't. Or I either skimmed through it or I read the cliff notes, or I just didn't read it at all. Number 3, have you ever borrowed a book and not given it back? Yes, I have. I actually have a book still hidden somewhere that I have borrowed and didn't give back. I feel really guilty about it because I was house sitting for these people once and I had to go somewhere and I needed to bring some papers with me to read from, and I needed something to put them in to keep them flat so they wouldn't get crinkled into my purse. And they had a bookshelf, so I borrowed a book from the bookshelf and stuck my papers in there. And I was going to their house again later that night, so I figured I'll just put it back on the bookshelf, but I forgot it at the place that I was at, and then I never really actually asked if I could borrow the book, so I felt funny just saying, here, I borrowed your book. So I avoided it for a while thinking, I gotta do it, I've gotta pep myself up to be able to do it, and I never actually did. And the more time passed on, the guiltier I felt that I had this book, and so I just never said that I actually stole the book. So I didn't borrow the book. Technically I stole it, but not purposefully. I'm a terrible person. Number 4, have you ever read a series out of order? I don't think so. I have this very vague memory that I might have skipped a book in a series, but I can't remember which one and if I ever actually did. I do that with series sometimes, like if I'm behind an episode that my husband and I are watching together, I'll just skip the episode. So that might be what I'm thinking of, but as far as I know, I haven't actually read a book out of order. I may have skipped a book, but I didn't like read book number 4 and then went back and read number 2 or something like that. That just doesn't make sense. It would be too confusing. Number 5, have I ever spoiled a book for somebody? Not purposefully, because who does that? That's just mean. But this is a booktube channel, and with tag videos and what have you, you often have to answer a question about maybe say a relationship or a book or a genre type of a book or a plot twist in a book that you kind of try to answer vaguely, but it still is a little spoilery, and I try not to do that, but I'm sure it's happened. If I ever spoiled the book for you, I'm so sorry. Question number 6, have I ever doggy-eared a page in a book? No. I am a person that needs to have everything like nice and neat and pristine, and even as you can see from my bullet journal here, I can't dog-ear a page because then it doesn't sit flat and the book, no. I have, however, started to appreciate annotating in books, which is a total sidetrack, but because of the traveling book club thing that I did with Julie from Pages and Pens, I had to write in the book, and I really appreciated it, and she said something that really struck me. She said that she heard from somebody that, you know, if you have books and we all keep them so pristine and neat, they're just like library books, and when our grandkids or our great-grandkids find our books in the book closet, they have no like sentimental value because grandma didn't write anything in the book. Or so I've been thinking about annotating my books. I haven't actually started. I'm trying to get over it, but I do see something cool that could happen because of grandma annotating her books. I don't want to think of myself as a grandma yet. So let's move on to the next question. Question number 7. Have I ever told somebody that I did not own a book when I have? Yes, I have. Because I like to keep my books nice and pristine, I have lent out a book to somebody and not gotten it back in condition. I mean, I know that things happen to books. Not everybody is so nitty-gritty like I am, and I can accept that. But sometimes my books have come back wet, or the spines are completely ruined and they don't stand up straight anymore on the bookshelf, and I know that I'm completely ridiculous person, but I like my books, like, take care of my stuff. If you don't take care of my stuff, then I'm not gonna let you borrow my books anymore, and so then I'll tell you, oh, I don't have that book. Totally lied. Number 8, have I ever told somebody that I haven't read a book when I have? Yes, I have. I have some friends who are very particular about the kinds of books that should and should not be read. And some of the books that I read are kind of controversial in my friend group, so I won't mention that I've read a book. I won't necessarily go out and blatantly lie, like they'll say, oh, this and so book has so terrible, have you ever read this book? I won't say no. I just won't answer the question, or I'll change the subject, or I won't mention that I've actually read a book. If they're talking about a book that they don't like, I won't say, well, I read that book and I really loved it. I'll just shut my mouth, because I don't want to go into the debate. So yes, I have sort of by omission said that I didn't read a book when I actually have. Number 9, have I ever skipped a chapter or parts of a book? Yes, I have. There are some books, especially with the multiple perspective kind of books, if I don't really appreciate their character, I will skim it or skip a couple paragraphs here and there. I don't think I've ever actually skipped an entire chapter, but there's one book in particular, Lies of Silence by Brian Moore. I've talked about this a couple times already. It is the only book in the history of books that has ever gotten a 1-star rating for me. I hated that book and I skipped just pages because nothing happened, in my opinion. If you love that book, I'm really sorry. Of course, as usual, my opinions are my opinions, but I personally hated that book. So I skipped whole pages and I missed absolutely nothing of the plot. Nothing. And number 10, have I ever badmouthed a book that I actually liked? No. Because while I won't necessarily admit that I've read a book, if somebody went out and blatantly asked me, did you read this book? I will say yes. And I will not badmouth it because my friends like it. I just won't talk about it. So, I'm not ashamed of what I read. I just don't feel like discussing it with people. So I would never actually badmouth a book that I've actually read, because why? And that wraps up for the Guilty Reader tag. I'm going to go ahead and tag 3 people. Now, when I wrote down the questions to these tags, it was like almost a month ago. And so I don't know if you've actually done this tag. When I looked it up, you didn't. You may have done it in the between time. But all that to say, if you've done the tag already, I'm sorry, but I'm going to tag you anyway. So I'm going to tag 3 people. I'm going to tag Kath from Kath Elizabeth. I'm going to tag James from Happy Elephant Books, and I'm going to tag Megan from RogersReads. I will leave all of their channels in the description box as well, so you should go check them out because they are also awesome YouTubers. And that wraps it for today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I'd love for you to subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye!